Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 17. Hear Me Out. I'm Sarah.
I'm Tessa, and this is Checked Out with Green Hills Public Library.
In this month's episode, Tessa and I went through a few books that we have read in the past and decided to pair them up with things that some seem pretty good and obvious, and others not so much. But if you read the book, you'll get the vibes here. And so this is if you like or think about or enjoyed in your youth X, Y, and Z, then you should give this book a shot.
We have some very niche options here. Well, I do.
Mine are okay. I will preface and say I had a really hard time with this.
It was your idea, though.
It was my idea, but it was just really bad. And I'll tell you all where my idea stemmed from. It stemmed from my AV display, I think, maybe. Or my AV display stemmed from this. I don't know what the vibe was, but I feel like I did pretty well with my AV display, and it was resolutions really do come true. And I matched up resolutions with movies. So, for example, spending more time with friends, Ocean's 8.
I didn't know that one was yours, but I looked at it yesterday and thought it was good.
Thank you. I did crowdsource a little bit with that one, but it was very fun to do in the back office. Enough about how I struggled with this topic. Let's get into it. Tessa and I will take turns back and forth, and let's see what we got.
I will say some of mine I will give a reason, and some of them I won't. Because I can't be telling you some of these things.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to go first?
Well, yeah, you can go first.
Okay. I'll start with a pretty light, obvious one. If you watched the movie Monster House growing up, you should read The Place Where They Buried Your Heart by Christina Henry, because the tagline or pitch for that book is that a house ate her brother. And that's what they're doing in Monster House. I pictured it like the house as Monster House when I read it.
That movie always used to scare me as a kid.
When I was I don't know, however old I was when it came out, we saw it in theaters and I made my mom leave early.
Dang. It wasn't ever that deep for me.
No, and it wasn't that deep. I had watched many a horror movie at that point in my life, but it just was not by me.
But that movie has such deep underlying
Yeah,
it's very there was a circus, and there was
a lot
happening in there that is spooky for a child, and honestly spooky for an adult, because I'm still kind of scared. So yeah. I'll say it. That's my truth.
And I think that's most people's truth. Truth.
Let's join a support club. Mine is, I'll also do a really obvious one. And it's, if you've ever wanted to join a sorority, read Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake. And the reasoning behind that is pretty clear. A sorority and the sorority house is very at the core of this. So think Scream Queens. That's the vibe. So if you liked Scream Queens, I'm tagging on another one. If you liked Scream Queens, read Girl Dinner.
The world did Scream Queens so dirty. It should have been so much more than it was.
Agreed. It lives in my household as peak TV.
It's one of the best pilot episodes of a TV show ever, debatably.
It's definitely up there for sure.
Right? If you like pretending that your pet can talk back to you, I would recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, because one of the main characters in that book is a talking cat. Princess Donut. She's lovely. It's lit RPG, so it's kind of based on video game mechanics, and it is the world ends and people fall through the earth, and if you fall through into the dungeon, you become a dungeon crawler who's competing in this, feels like a video game. The alien planet that is doing this watches it as if it was a reality TV show, and you get that POV of it as well. But yeah, Princess Donut, because she can talk now and she's great.
I just got the audiobook for that, And so I'm really excited.
I didn't do the audio, but I've heard that the audio is very good. Like, it's very engaging and interactive.
Yeah, I hope that I enjoy it, but not enough to get Audible the subscription and need to listen to all of them because there are quite a few.
Is it an exclusive?
Yeah, it is. And I got like the 99 cent like for 3 months thing. And I was like, oh, let's just do that because it's exclusive. Like I only did exclusive ones because everything else I'll get from Hoopla or Libby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that was
think
one.
they are on KU though.
Okay, so I'll read it then
Yeah.
if it
I
works
haven't
out for me.
continued, but I don't know why.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that in check with the 2026 goal
I am.
of finishing up
I've
series.
already finished one thing that's on my 26 in 2026.
Period. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Love that. Okay, if WWE's Royal Rumble was a fight to the death, you should read Chain Gang All Stars. I loved Chain Gang All Stars. I think I read it either last year or in 2024, and it is so good. It's like a reality TV show kind of vibe where these quote unquote criminals are held captive and then they need to compete in a gladiator-esque fight to the death. And we get perspectives from so many different characters and their different positions that made it feel like such a well-rounded story. So, example, like our main character is one of the people that is participating in the fights. And then we also get a super fan's POV, and we get someone that is protesting against the all-star fights. And so it makes it feel very real to have all of those perspectives in it. And I definitely recommend it. I did it as an immersive read, so audio and reading it. 10 out of 10 experience for me, for sure.
That is quite literally my next up to read. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's sapphic, yeah?
It is, yes. It is sapphic.
Yeah, no, it's literally sitting on my nightstand, piece ready for me to start it. I don't have any connection to WWE Royal Rumble, but the vibe, I'm there for it. I would also like to say that in my head, these were a lot funnier at one point. My little things. And suddenly when I'm looking at this paper to read them to you, they're not funny anymore.
See, I didn't have that issue because I knew mine were not funny. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna keep going. What I've got is what I got, and this is what the listeners get, and I hope they have a good time.
Okay, this is a hyper-specific one. But if you rode the dragon roller coaster at your local carnival fair, read King Sorrow by Joe Hill. King Sorrow is about a group of friends, ? They end up as friends. They start as friends and they end as friends, but there's some weird stuff in the middle, I guess. But they summon an ancient dragon, King Sorrow, that they have to pick someone for King Sorrow to kill every year. And they think it's a joke, and it's very much not a joke.
I have that on my TBR because you really liked it and Patrick really liked it. And he was telling me that there's a lot going on plot-wise. And so that's really interesting to me. So it is on my TBR. I know it's a longer read, but one of my 2026 goals is to do a long book to kind of just increase that attention span when reading.
I think that King Sorrow is a great one to do that with because it is engaging the whole time. For me, it didn't drag, and I did read it over the course of several days, which isn't always typical for me. It's usually very binged, and I was never bored. I feel like almost every page was necessary. And the audio, I didn't do an immersive read, but I did a tandem situation where I would listen to it, but I would also read it physically at different times. The audiobook is great. There's the narrator puts on a voice, and there's a little bit of an effect for King Sorrow that at first I did not know was there, and it was in fact a jump scare. But it's done really well. It doesn't sound cheesy. It adds an atmosphere. So that also will help you, I'm sure, that the audio is good. Yeah, I don't know. I would recommend doing both. I think it'll help you get through it faster too.
Play. Thank you. and I'm sure that I can get the audio again from Hoopla or Libby. This is non-sponsored, but it should be because I like them. Okay, my next one is if you have a deep love for Chili's, the restaurant, read Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. And the reasoning behind this is the main male character is, in fact, the store manager of Chili's. And we get an inside scoop on the kitchen and the restaurant and triple dippers, which I love a good triple dipper. So
There's also a special edition cover, right? That is like the Chili's menu for that.
yeah, it's really sick, and it's not one of my favorite romances, but it is a very good, it's a very well written work of fiction. I think
Okay.
Kate Goldbeck does fantastic character work.
She did. Don't tell me.
Okay, I won't say anything. I would tell you it's like a fall cover, but that's like
So is literally
7 of
everything
them.
else. Oh, I can see it. You again.
Yes.
Yes.
Ding, 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 and we have a winner.
Wow. I feel actually great about that. If you had a crush on Luke, aka the Goblin from Halloween Town, read Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. Lovely, incredible, so good. The town that this takes place in, Weeping Hollow, is just like quite literally if Halloween Town was aged up, but like in a good way.
I do have a thing for Halloween Town. I love Halloween Town. That big giant pumpkin in the center of town.
When it starts like rotting because everything's bad.
Yeah, so good. I don't know if you had this experience too, but I think it's like the second film, or maybe, no, the second film is them in high school, right? Is like the high school transfer student.
Yes. Halloween Town High?
Yeah.
I think it's Halloween Town 2, Halloween Town High.
Halloween Town High, and then the college.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that one's that's
where
not
we fall
Marnie.
off.
That's not my
No.
girl.
That's Sarah something.
Paxton.
Thank you.
AKA
So then
Aquamarine.
the second one, where they like end up, her and her grandma end up in like this gray world where they're like sorting laundry or something.
Yes.
That would always give me the heebie-jeebies. Clearly, I was like afraid as a child because everything was scaring me. But like that would trip me up so bad. I was like, that's like one of the scariest things to ever do. And as an adult, I will say I love doing laundry. I love sorting laundry. I love folding laundry. Like, it's great for me. Like, I think I belong in that world.
The grayscale world that like really put you off.
I think so.
And they weren't supposed to be there.
No.
Like when you're doing laundry, you're supposed to be doing laundry.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. But like, I think it was the grayscale world because like you look at grandma and she's gray. Like, what?
Poor girl.
It was horrible. It was so bad. Okay. Enough about my traumas. This is becoming a trauma dump, everyone. I'm so sorry. But my next one is, if dating apps just aren't for you right now, Matchmaking for Psychopaths might be the one for you, okay? And so this is a book, much like the title may imply, that Matchmaking for Psychopaths goes on. And I'm sorry to say, I kind of like did a little bit of tomfoolery. It is still like a dating app. Sorry. So it does, in fact, much like the title explains, that it is focused on matchmaking for psychopaths, and it follows our main character who just got out of a rough relationship and works for this dating platform that matchmakes self-proclaimed psychopaths that are, you know, just living their everyday lives. And things take a really twisted turn when she ends up meeting one of her clients like in person and they become friends. And then people start dying, tomfoolery, you know, ensues. And it's not super gory, but it is a thriller. It's like a thriller mystery splash of horror.
Is it like silly or is it like pretty like straightforward? Is it camp?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm like, if this was like a movie, I would say it's campy.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's campy.
If you like Spencer Hastings from Pretty Little Liars and also her evil twin that has what does she have, an Australian accent or British? It's something and it's really bad. If you are a fan of Spencer, you should read Kill Creatures by Rory Power. It is a YA horror, I would say. And this girl, she has some dead best friends, and one of them shows back up about, I think it's like a year later, and she shows up and she's alive. And our main character is very confused because she is in fact the one who killed them. So she knows she's dead, but she's back. But she has to pretend like it's normal because no one knows that she killed them.
That's good.
It's crazy. Like I said, it's YA, so it's super fast.
Yeah.
And I had the e-arc of it because I have read a few other books by Rory Power. And I quite literally read it in like 3 hours because I was like, well, now hold on. What do you mean? And like, that's what the first chapter is they're like at a vigil or like a memorial for them. And there's like a lake and she just like suddenly appears and everyone's like, oh my God, your best friend, she's alive. And she's like, oh my God, my best friend's alive. I killed them.
Yikes.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I should read that because Spencer Hastings was my favorite.
She's like really giving Spencer Hastings, and I would just like to say I drew that conclusion on my own. However, the author does say it in the acknowledgments.
Yeah, she was my favorite, but I always loved the way that Lucy Hale's character dressed Arya. Yeah.
Arya's crazy.
Okay, my next one is also going to be a little horror one, and it's If the Ghostbusters Were YouTubers, and it is The Whistler by Nick Medina. And this one does in fact follow a Ghostbuster type character who videotapes like haunted places, getting in contact with the dead, and then yeah, he is like the influencer Ghostbuster of his time. And he gets in contact with someone from a news like a news anchor, and they do interviews, and then we kind of see the downfall a little bit of him and his YouTube show and its dual timeline. So we get the before and we get the aftermath. And then we have to like kind of piece together what's going on as the story continues and where that climax hits of like, how did he get to this point in the present day? And what is he going to do? Like, how is he going to solve this issue that he has going on, aka this whistler that is haunting him? It was really good. This was my first Nick Medina book, and I will probably be doing another one. I thought that his writing was really well done. There's like a thread of romance in it as well that I thought was pretty interesting to follow. And pretty real. It showed like a really real relationship and how they're kind of coming back from all the things that have happened to our main character. So I would definitely recommend.
That's another one that there's like a slight production in the audio where the whistler, like it is a whistle tone, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah, that was a nice touch for sure.
My next one is the scene from Euphoria where Angus Cloud says, "You're confused, I'm confused." And the just true actual confusion that ensues in that scene. I would recommend We Used to Live Here. It is a horror, and honestly, I didn't like it, but I will recommend it because I know that people do. And it is about this couple. They move into this house, they're renovating it. It's like a little bit off-putting, but it's fine. It'll be their dream house when they finish it. And one of the wives goes out in the world to do something, and the other wife is at home alone. And this family comes to the door and they're like, "Oh, we used to live here. Like, can I show my kids this?" Like, whatever. It's weird, but I know that that is like a thing that like people go back to their old house, whatever. I don't know. It's weird, and by the end of it, it's very confusing. I don't really understand it. People say that like maybe you aren't supposed to, or people are like, no, I understand it. You are not smart. I think it's just not well done personally, but I do know that people have like highly raved about it as well. So If that sounds like something that would be interesting. It is horror, but I would say most of it reads pretty thrillery until closer to the end.
Yeah, I think I have that on my TBR, like, as a trial book, so
Honestly, try it because I want to know what you think.
yeah, okay.
The first, 50%, I was good. Like, I was like, "Yep, this is interesting, sounds good." And then I was like, "I don't know that you even know what we're doing anymore," kind of a thing.
Interesting. Kinda went off the rails a little bit. My next one is if you wondered how they pulled off the Louvre heist, then you should read Portrait of a Thief. I love this book. I also just love heist books, heist movies. The Louvre heist, I'm waiting patiently for them to do like a documentary or something about it.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm sad. I love all of that sort of thing. And this one was again like really good. This is Grace D. Lee's first book, and I believe there's another one coming or in the works there, so I will be picking up that. But I just love it. I loved this cast of characters. I loved the movement. I loved their internal battles and then their external battles. I thought it was great and very fun.
I agree. I was actually going to put as one of my very softball, not niche ones, that if you liked Six of Crows, you should read Portrait of a Thief because obviously it's not a fantasy, but the intention behind the heists and putting things back to how they should be, because that is a big part of Portrait of a Thief, is they are stealing art from people who have ended up with it, that it's not their culture's art, that it shouldn't be with them. And that sentiment is very similar in Six of Crows. So if you read Six of Crows when you were younger, maybe you didn't love the magic in it, I would try Portrait of a Thief.
Six of Crows is another one that I got with my little Audible deal, so I'm excited.
I love Six of Crows, would literally love to buddy read that with you as a reread.
Okay, slay. I'll let you know when I get into it.
Oh, it's so good. Love her. My next one is potentially very niche, and it is If You Hold Your Nose When You Go Underwater. And it's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Killick. I don't want to justify it.
Why? Because it has to do with drowning?
Because she gets drowned to have these prophecies. But there's when she gets drowned in the first scene that you see her doing that at the very beginning, when the lady is holding her down, all I could think about was if she just held her nose, she'd be fine. So if you hold your nose underwater, you should read that book.
And we're just gonna leave it at that. Moving on. This one is a little mild, but if you loved Get a Clue with Lindsay Lohan, then you should read The Princess and the PI by Nikki Reed. I thought that this one was just fun. It is very spy girl, again, private investigators in the title vibes, and there is a very interesting story at the root of it and a lot of plot around it. Maybe a little too much plot going on. There's a lot happening that was it took me a minute to sit with and be like, okay, this is going on here and this is happening there and how does this all connect? But once you get it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. That was really fun and a nice read.
If you've always wanted to bite a bouncy ball, you should read The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim. That's all.
And that one is for me, for sure. My next one is If You Forgot to Kiss the Heart You Put in Your Build-A-Bear, then you should read Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
And that is art. That comparison and connection that you made, that's art.
Thank you.
You should be proud of that.
I am. I'll frame that one.
If you like dirt pudding cups with gummy worms, then you should read Nocticadia, purely just because there's a parasite that they're studying. It's at this point where the wheels have fallen off the bus for me, but this is what we have.
Okay. I need everyone to hang tight with me with this one. All right. Everyone hold hands and brace yourselves. If you want to feel like the meme of Tyra Banks on America's Next Top Model, when she says, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Then you should read The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Also, like a mild version of that is like if you were rooting for Tanya Harding, but like the Tyra Banks one just hits more, you know?
Yeah. The Tanya Harding, like, that's low-hanging fruit. Like, we're knowing about Tanya Harding. Like, of course. No, the we were all rooting for you is also just, like, so true. Yeah, we were rooting for them.
Yeah, I was truly rooting for them at every single moment. And then it would just be like, oh my God, like again?
Yeah.
Like, be so for
Can
real.
you imagine being, like, so down bad that you learn an entire Olympic sport just to spend time, like, more time with someone that you're already around constantly?
Yeah, and that is like that's directly like that is it.
Yeah.
That's the one. Crazy.
So good.
I love them.
I need a reread of that, I think.
I need a whole TV show,
I need a
docuseries
TV show
situation.
too.
I need everything.
I do as well. Wow, okay. This one is kind of mean, and I'm so sorry. But if you like being disappointed, then you should read Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. And I'm so sorry, but that book is not good. It was her first adult novel that she's put out. It was recycled of every other thing that she's done. In Caraval and the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, the character was just like an amalgamation of all of them. And the game, it was really just all the same. And it was not good, which is devastating because I do in fact love Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart.
Dang.
And I'm so sorry to her. I love her, but that was so bad.
And you're allowed to feel that way.
It's so
That's okay.
300 pages and I almost DNF'd it.
Yeah.
The cover is also very ugly. I'll stop.
Yeah. This is becoming like a hate circle. A party of one. Okay, my next one is if you had a crush on the reporter from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, then you should read And Now Back to You. This is not out yet. I haven't read it yet. It's sitting in my Kindle. Nobody judge me, but we'll get there. It's going to be out, I think, in February, so it'll happen before then. It follows two meteorologists that are rivals, and, like things get a little bit of, heated. That was just me trying to bring up heated rivalry. If you know, you know. Anyway.
If you liked the show Prison Break, I don't know if you ever watched that.
No, I couldn't ever get into it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you liked Prison Break, but also you should still read this. I think you might think it's fun. To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. I read the early copy of this, but also it's kind of giving Chain Gang All-Stars because it's dystopian and they're in a prison and it's more like Capture the Flag vibes than like a Gladiator situation, but people pay to come and watch these criminals. But like they are hunting them kind of. There's like a lot going on there with that. But they are also trying to figure out how to break out of it. I was pleasantly surprised by this because it was a debut and I had heard nothing of it at the time that I read it. It's getting some more like marketing and hype as it's getting closer to coming out. But I think that you would have fun with it because it's nothing too like complicated or like I think that later books could do that, but this one is so focused on being in the prison and how they're getting out that it makes the world small enough that it's easily digestible.
Okay, I love like a Hunger Games, Changing All Stars, like bread and circuses vibe, just because I think that it's like interesting what they have to say about the world through that lens. So I'll give that one a shot for sure, even though I've never watched Prison Break. But yeah, we'll be there. I'll be there for it. My next one is If You Thought You Can Control Stoplights as a Kid, read The Thrashers by Julie Soto. And this one, there's just like a lot of, I feel like, light work going on. There's screens falling on people. There's like a girl that's maybe haunting people, maybe not. Like we don't really know what's going on. It's YA. It's a YA thriller. And it was just a really quick read and an overall good time. I think that justice for some of those characters, and if you read it, you know who I'm talking about.
That last, like the epilogue / last chapter, I can't remember which one it was. Crazy. But no, it really is just so fun. I do think that I want a movie of that.
I do think it would be really well done as a movie or TV show.
Yeah, it would be It's like
It's giving like the same vibe as 13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why, or like
Yeah.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like, I'm gonna need Netflix to make it, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
If you if you watched House of Anubis, the TV show from like the early 2010s, probably. Did you watch it?
No,
Oh.
I didn't like it.
Oh. Well, that's awkward because this book is, in fact, on your TBR. But it is Half City by Kate Golden. But
So fun.
the comparison for Half City for me is really just like the school and demon occult like vibes.
This is another one where I'm asking everyone to brace themselves and hold my hand when I say, if you think about the Twilight X Volvo commercial too much, then you need to read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. And I'll give an explanation for this. I have to over-explain everything. I'll just say it right now. But that commercial like lives rent-free in my mind all the time. And there's a particular variation of the commercial that I can't find anywhere. So I'm actually going to explain it. And Edward is in the car. And no, it's either Edward or Bella are in the car with Renesmee. And they're like speeding down Forks streets. And then a wolf comes and is in the middle of the street. And so they have to like stop the car. And it's like, I don't know, Edward and it has to be Edward because I think that's what I don't know, but I know.
Are you not just talking about a scene in Breaking Dawn Part 2?
Is it? I don't know. But I swear.
There's this scene where all three of them are in a car.
But when I tell you I look for it often, like it's like every, I want to say like 9 months, I search the internet for this commercial and I can't find it. I find different ones that are like the same vibe, but I don't find that one. And so if you have it, please just email it to us. But anyway, my explanation for this comparison is, so it's like this really moody, dark commercial and you're like, oh my god, like what is this gonna be for? Like this has to be for like Dior Savage or something, like something crazy, like spooky. And then bam, like you get close up of the Volvo and then Edward Cullen pops out of the car and you're like, well, what is this? And then it's Volvo X Twilight and you're like, well, that was like kind of crazy. That's Lights Out. Like Lights Out is why are you laughing?
This is the funniest one, I think.
Thank you. Like Lights Out is that. Lights Out is supposed to be this dark romance, but because it's a rom-com, you're like what are we doing? Where did this come from? And I don't know. If you're with it, you're with it and you get it. And if you don't, contact me and I'll further explain. That's all I have. Thank you. I am part of the Twilight craze.
We all are.
It's a good vibe. Did you see that Kristen Stewart said that if they do a remake, she's on board?
Yeah, I did.
And I was sad. So yeah.
My last one is for the girls who saw the video of Barney when he swore out of character, like the behind the scenes of it all, and you felt scared, I would read Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. There is a kids' TV show that people don't really remember, but they kind of, it's very like mystical in the minds of others, and the kids who were in it don't really remember exactly what happened. They know it ended kind of badly, but like there's a lot of missing information, and it follows them as they like meet back up as adults because whatever happened to them is like still haunting them. I will say it was a really quick read. The cover's really sick. It wasn't my favorite, but if that intrigues you, I think it's worth at least trying.
That's fair. That one did scare me. So my last one is pretty tame. And it's, if you like diners, drive-ins, and dives, you should read Aftertaste by Daria Lavelle.
I had it as an option was to say that if you felt spiritually connected to Remy the Rat.
I can't say that because
the movie
I don't like
me.
Ratatouille. Yeah, it scares
But
me.
I'm just saying the way that he tastes the food and he knows exactly what is in it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just felt like...
No, you're so true.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, Guy Fieri, like, he's one with the diners, drive-ins, and dives, and, like, he's eaten anything and everything. And I love him and his glasses that are backwards and his
Yeah,
plain t-shirt.
he's literally everything.
He's
His
good.
spiky hair,
Yeah.
he's good.
That concludes this portion of the episode, but we have some more. And of course, we're going to swing that Volvo back around to Twilight because that is the book that we read for a little book talk this month.
That was good.
Thank you. I can start us off. I love Twilight. I do. I love her so much. The movies are my comfort movies. The books, they had their moment. And I can't reread them. I tried for this. I did. But my mid-20s brain, my fully formed frontal lobe, is not picking it up the same way that I was. I thought that the writing was not great. I thought that I hated Bella's voice. So it was difficult for me, and I actually ended up DNFing it because I didn't want it to taint my overall experience that I had with Twilight growing up and then taint how I felt about the films. So I will leave it at that.
I had a similar feeling. I will say the first 50 pages, whatever, probably first 3 chapters, I was having a giggly fun little time because I was like, oh my god, I'm back here, that's so fun. And then the farther I got into it, I was like, we could just not do this actually, and it would be fine. So yeah, totally agree with you. They had their moment, and we can leave the books where they are and continue to bring the movies with us. I will say the special edition that we bought of it though is very pretty. The edges freak me out, but
yeah, the edges are giving CGI Renesmee. But
maybe that's what they were going for.
Maybe that's what they were going for. But yeah, the edition itself was really pretty. For our next book talk discussion, we will be reading Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. I'm really excited for this. This is her debut in fiction. I absolutely loved her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. I think that she has such a strong voice in writing, and so I'm excited to see what she does in fiction. I will be audiobooking this, and she narrates it, which I'm also stoked for. So hopefully it goes well.
I think that we will end up having a lot more to say about that one than we had to say about Twilight for sure. Totally agree with everything you said. Her memoir is one of the best memoirs that I've encountered, but I feel like most people have it high up there if they read memoirs. Yeah, the audiobook, I was so hoping that she would read it because she read her memoir, and I was really hoping we would keep that energy because I really enjoyed listening to her. So I was really glad about that. And yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes.
As usual, if you have any questions, comments, or want to recommend anything to us, or if you find that one Volvo commercial, please feel free to email us at ghpl@greenhillslibrary.org.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been episode 17. Hear Me Out. I'm Tessa.
I'm Sarah, and we're checked out.